Stories of big tech censorship are everywhere these days. And for a country based on free speech and the ideal that everyone is entitled to their opinion, it seems some opinions and life experiences aren't wanted. At least that's what Pastor Jim Domen says he's been up against. He was kicked off the Vimeo video platform for posting videos about his life story and others like him, people who decided to leave the same-sex lifestyle to pursue their Christian faith. Pastor Jim is suing Vimeo for discrimination, challenging Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act that allows social media platforms to remove content they find objectionable and not be held liable. We're joined now by Pastor Jim and his lead attorney, Robert Tyler. Gentlemen, welcome.
Good morning, Cindy.
Thank you for having us.
So, Jim, let me start with you. Pastor, can you start off by just giving us a brief overview of what the case is about? Why was it that your account was shut down by Vimeo?
Sure. I'm the founder of Church United, a ministry that really just deals with pastors, helping them engage in government. And there was a bill that came up that was close to my personal story of leaving the gay lifestyle. And I told my story, more or less. And Vimeo, I got this email from them saying, hey, look, you can't share this. It's against our policy. You've got 24 hours before we completely delete all your videos of all your pastors.
Wait, so they gave you 24 hours to delete
Correct.
Those videos?
Yeah, they told me I did remove all my videos or I risked in 24 hours they would delete everything.
Wow. So we're seeing on the screen now there was 5 specific videos that they called offensive or that talked about what you were just describing, but they were going to delete everything in your account.
Correct. I said, well, help me understand why you deleting my account? Why are you threatening me with this? I'm a former homosexual. I don't understand. And then they accused me of violating their terms of service.
Is there anything in those videos that are coercive or manipulative or anything like that?
You know, Cindy, it's my story. One of the videos is a Pulse nightclub survivor sharing how he was transformed, and they tagged that one. And another video was just house music and different stories of men, women, black, brown, and white sharing well, not even sharing, just saying we were going to be at Freedom March.
Wow. Okay, so Robert, you're the lead attorney on this case. What's the legal status? Because I know there were some rulings just this past week.
In the Second Circuit Federal Court of Appeals, just under the United States Supreme Court, the 3-judge panel granted a rehearing, interestingly. And what they did was they basically doubled down on their earlier ruling that said, effectively, big tech has the right to discriminate and violate state laws that prevent discrimination against persons on the basis of race, religion, color, creed, and sexual orientation. You know, no other business in doing business in the state of California or the state of New York or anywhere in between has the right to be able to tell someone that we're not going to serve you because you're black or because you're homosexual, because you're Muslim or because you're a Christian. And in this case, that was the basis of our claim. And the Second Circuit Court of Appeal doubled down on their earlier ruling that ruled against us, and again said and tried to solidify the ruling and said, look, the Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act gives immunity to these technology companies. And that immunity says that if they act in subjective good faith, in good faith in their own perspective, if they act in good faith as they think they are, then they are free from liability. It doesn't matter whether the basis of their discrimination was race, religion, color, creed. And in this case, based upon the fact that Pastor Jim Domen is a former homosexual and a Christian, and they effectively are saying that, well, these videos that he put up are in relation to sexual orientation change efforts, which they weren't, and they certainly weren't harassing. But if the technology companies in their own minds thinks that the content is objectionable, they have the right to go ahead and just simply cancel the account. But that's like telling someone, you know, a restaurant saying, well, in my own view, because someone walks in and they're black, it's objectionable from my personal perspective, and therefore I'm not going to allow them to sit down in this booth. Well, wait a minute. That's completely irrational under our current and long-standing principles here, protecting persons on the basis of race, religion, color, and creed.
So let me just clarify. Are you arguing that they did not act in good faith, or that this good faith test doesn't make sense altogether?
Yeah, effectively, the good faith test is, as the Second Circuit is interpreting it, and as well as the Ninth Circuit has interpreted it, it means nothing. They're meaningless words in the statute if it gives someone the right to be able to discriminate on the basis of a protected classification. And as Pastor Domen has experienced himself, those who are formerly homosexual are often the most discriminated, more so than anyone else in society. And frankly, the videos, one of the reasons why we brought this lawsuit is we felt that the videos were very, very good. They weren't hateful. They weren't harassing. This man's a pastor. He's a Christian. He has incredible sympathy and passion for what he does from a Christian perspective. And so we felt that these videos, it was unconscionable that these videos would be pulled down because an individual is telling his own personal story. And so just because Vimeo in bad faith believes that they're objectionable, that doesn't make them act in good faith just because the statute is ignored, frankly.
So, Pastor, can you tell us about, Robert talked about you're one of the most discriminated groups and the content of the videos. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Sure. I'm a super minority, Cindy, and there are thousands upon thousands of us like that, people who are former LGBTQ. And we're a people group that if people think the LGBTQ group is discriminated against, we're a subgroup of that group. And it's really, it's so harmful seeing what not only happening here in the United States, but I'm the president of the Global Rainbow Crossers Alliance. And we represent 52 nations of former LGBTQ people. And what I'm seeing in this trend around the world is you don't exist. You're subhuman. You're subpar. And I sit here and I go, how could in America, maybe in some foreign communistic crazy countries around the world, they can allow that. But in the United States of America, we're supposed to be free. And yet I voice my opinion. I have a come to Jesus moment. I'm sharing my faith, my Christianity, and internet can say, you don't exist. We don't believe you. We delete you.
Be sure to watch the entire episode, now available exclusively at epochtv.com, a completely censorship-free premium subscription platform. Brought to you by the Epoch Times. See you there.